Hello, everyone. Welcome to the February 16th SIG Contributor Experience meeting, bi-weekly face-to-face meeting. Every other week is on Slack. So I am not your host today, but we've got, because I have a conflict and I'm going to have to bounce in a short while, but Chris will be here. Chris will be here taking over as host. A little housekeeping before we begin. We abide by a code of conduct, which in short means be excellent to each other. And without further ado, make sure you put your name in the meeting notes. I'm going to chuck the meeting notes down here. And yeah, with that, let's get right into it. First up, Eddie had a query, and it's not on the agenda, but I'll write that down.
I put it at the very bottom. So hopefully real quick, last year I talked to Paris and a few others. We as SIG leads and chairs and ContribEx and whatever, we should have a way to get KubeCon tickets for like active contributors that need one. So I just want to bring that up again. I don't know who to talk to, who to coordinate with, but like CNCF should definitely give us a pool of tickets that we can distribute, on a discretionary basis to folks that are, top contributors or identified as bringing value to the event.
I can help you with that, Eddie.
Cool.
So my gut feeling on this, because it kind of falls into a bit of there is a transaction kind of thing. I think this should also kind of be brought to the attention of kind of steering, maybe, because it affects everyone in the project. And perhaps we will ping, it would be good to reach out to CNCF as well. But yeah, I will have a chat with some of the other ContribEx leads, and I'll keep tabs on this. I'll keep y'all updated. Yeah, but it should be a thing though. Like if you're a contributor, you get the opportunity to attend the event and spend time with your fellow contributors and get up to speed on the work that we do kind of in person together.
This is already in progress, by the way.
Oh, this is in progress. Hi, Paris.
Wonderful.
Hey,
hello, Paris.
Hi.
Yeah,
I brought up that I talked to you about this before. It doesn't necessarily need to be a full scholarship in terms of, transportation and housing, but just like a ticket is the bare minimum that we should be able to give out to people that really need it.
Yeah, we need a process for it right now, and I need to continue to ask steering to get with CNCF to figure this out. So that's where we are. There is an open issue too that we do update. So let me get it out, and then y'all can follow that along. I'll bring this to the next steering committee meeting to see where our blockers are. And if we need any help from y'all, we'll ask.
Thank you, Paris. All right, I have to run. Nice seeing y'all.
Thank you, Eddie.
Wow, Eddie.
Wow. I have my own SIG meeting to go lead. Bye-bye.
All right, Allison, you have stuff and you have to leave soon. Do you want to go?
So yes, I will say my words and whoosh. So Contributor Summit, it is happening. We need to start a meeting to discuss logistics. If someone could spin up a doodle and post it in the Contributor Summit channel on Slack, that would be great. Logistics to be discussed, content, it's probably going to be the same as North America. It's going to be a chill out space just because there's some uncertainty, but this could be, this is subject to change after we have our first meeting and we kind of discuss what's going on. Website, we should probably create a save the date page. and documents in the community repo. Now, this has been on my radar for weeks, but tonight I will get something PR'd in. I will get a PR up with details about the contributor summit, with the space that we have and the dates and all that. So we should be able to get that on the ball, especially we're in February. Valencia is in February, March, April, May. So it's a couple months out. So, you know, we've got time, but the window for we've got time is closing very soon. Like so this week things should happen. Yeah, and that's me for now. It's good seeing y'all, and thank you very much, Chris, for hosting. I'll off for now. Thanks.
Awesome. See you, Allison. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. From the top of the agenda. If there's any new contributors, feel free to introduce yourself. Sorry, we probably should have done that first, but people had to get on and go. All right. Office hours. What's up? David.
I was on today. David's not here.
Okay.
There is a lot of updates here, which is that David and Carlos is going to be hosting office hours now as well. David and Carlos are looking into taking the whole entire program to CNCF and not necessarily ContribEx anymore, since this is sort of like outside of our scope and it's better suited for that level and also just like the sustainability reasons. We are not there yet though, and it's not going to be official until we actually migrate the documentation over. That's sort of what that's my milestone in my head of when we're done with this. So once we can migrate documentation out of the Kubernetes repository that has to do with the operational elements of office hours, then it'll officially be a CNCF thing. Go ahead.
Sorry, does it have a place to land in CNCF?
We're trying to figure it out. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And
All
if
right.
you, Chris, if that's something you want to help advocate for too, please help. Yeah, the more people we have, the better. But yeah, just trying to figure out where that lives. And I was on this morning preaching the good word of ContribEx and trying to get more contributors, especially for some of the engineering projects that we have with like all the migration work and the automation work that's going on. So that's it for office hours.
Awesome. Thank you, Paris. Community meeting, Laura. I have a tweet waiting for you tomorrow. So
yay. Yes, we are seriously doing it this month, despite all kinds of randomness. But we will have the meeting invite is out. It should have just gone out before this. So thank you to Bob for getting that issue handled. So you'll be able to find that on your calendar moving forward. Nigel will be our host. So yay, Nigel. And Nigel has an email request out to get an email out to KDev. I think we're supposed to do that through the form now, unlike before where it was just random emails and Wild West. So that's that. Thank you for the tweets, and we're very excited over those. And we've got 3 major topics. Well, 3 plus a little bit, I guess I should say. We have the Docker shim removal topic. We have the reliability bar proposal topic. And we also have some updates on 1.24. And there will be a very, very brief, yes, we moved KDev, yay, from Paris. I don't know how brief you want to make that, but it will be semi-brief. So those are the updates on what we're doing. And there is also now a form where people can propose topics and just tell us what topic it's going to be, when they would like to present it, and who's going to be the expert on said community meeting, just to help the discussion along. I'm still trying to figure out how I get that just in the ContribEx Google Drive, if there's a Google Drive, or if I just share it to ContribEx. So when I get a chance to figure that out, I would like to get that out there so that it's not, it's easy for everyone to find, which is the big crucial thing. So
Could we create a form in GitHub? I think the problem with our crew in general is that if it's not native in GitHub, it's not a thing. Like, or because like docs, the way that docs float around our project, it's like it is the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
And so the more you can put of a process into GitHub, the better it is for discoverability and people actually participating in your thing.
Okay. Yeah, I can
maybe like a GitHub issue, like an issue template. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about. But yeah, we also do have a drive that we would set it up for you, and then we could set you as the editor. So just you can put in the second case scenario, or like the now scenario, just put in an issue that says that you need a form from created from the drive with you as an editor.
Okay.
And then,
I already have the form made. Is there a way to I would just try to move it in.
Let's see if you
it's messy, I know.
Yeah, add contributors at kubernetes.io.
Okay.
And then add them as the editor. And then I can manually see if I can make myself the owner.
I can probably transfer ownership, which I think makes more sense.
And then we can set you as an editor or something along those lines.
Something along that line. Yeah. So that should do it. So I'll take that as a to-do and also look into moving it over to GitHub, because that's a good call out. Anyway, those are the updates on the community meeting. Yay.
Yes, thank you so much, Laura. Yes.
That's not a I give up flag. That's a yay flag. So. It's not I surrender.
I have a question on the community meetings. Is there a place to do announcements that's community-wide? So I'm part of SIG Security, and we're starting the third-party security audits in the spring. Maybe not for this community meeting, but maybe for the March community meeting. And so like the announcement for it.
Yes, please come reach out to me.
All right,
we will make sure you're on the agenda for it.
Thank you.
There's a Google sheet and everything. I just have to get it cleaned up, and then I will post it up, and we can start putting announcements and things in there.
Cool.
Good question. Good call out.
Awesome. We already talked about the contributor summit. Any other discussion before we jump into mentoring? Oh, Nigel, I had a question for you. Do you feel ready for tomorrow? Do you need a hype man? I can be your puff daddy.
I think so. I think there's still a few other things that I need to definitely go through the agenda again, rehearse the spiel at the beginning again, and I'm running a community meeting for my project here in an hour or so. So yeah, I think everything will be fine.
All right.
I'm hearing that you're an expert.
You got this.
Yeah, I'm hearing that today is your test for tomorrow. That's what I'm hearing.
It's your practice run. If get your kinks out, work that out. It's like a preseason game,
Yeah. No, everything should be okay. I just need to make sure that the agenda's up to date, got the email issue up, and then just make sure that I have an understanding of the flow, and then I'm going to go back and watch a previous one as well. Just make sure I do all the prep that I can.
Cool.
You're going to be just fine. I will say, so I'm going to be on to be the recorder and the usher. If somebody else would also like to join in to help with note taking, I'm sure that would be immensely helpful. If anybody would like to just kind of show up and say, I'll do it. But yeah, so. And you also track down all the people that need to talk about the things. So you got this.
Yeah.
You got this.
So
Nice.
the only open question now is what goes in the blog, but I suppose we can figure that out post the call.
Yeah, you'll be okay. We can
Okay.
talk about it then.
Sounds good.
Mhm. Is the community meeting doc still in the same place?
Yeah, it's still that
Okay.
really old one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I looked
Probably
today and
pretty
it,
slow.
some of it.
I looked today and it looked okay. I was gonna congratulate whoever updated that. I was like,
Yeah, no, I was just making sure.
yeah, it looked good. I was like,
Yeah.
was that Laura or was that Nigel?
He did.
Yeah, I was like, very good. That was my first thought too. I was like, oh gosh, we have a stale doc lying around because it's just like the
No,
story of that's the
it's
story
ready.
of our lives. That's what it is.
It's all ready.
Yeah,
shiny and new.
I know.
So.
I got an email out to my employer and like linked to it. I was like, yeah, updated. Yeah.
It should be a good time. So
Awesome.
please
Yeah.
join in. It'll be a great experience. And hopefully all of the dry runs of, showing up to the weekly community meeting variety show for like 3 or 4 times by accident should be a great dry run for everyone showing up tomorrow.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Good luck tomorrow. Nigel will be around. Don't be afraid to holler. Mentoring, Paris, meet our contributors.
Yes. Well, now that we know that the calendar is unjammed for the dev list that we because we obviously did the test this morning with the community meeting. So I definitely think we should kick up meet our contributors again. But I wanted to discuss here a little bit about the sustainability of the program because it is it's definitely a intense gathering and preparation of it. I would say it's not hard. So it's great for new contributors who want to kind of help out. The problem is though how long it takes you to do one individual monthly episode is at least 5 hours, which is a long time. And the other thing is now that we have office hours kicking back up again, they're doing a new format. And the new format includes a contributor at the beginning of it talking about what they're working on. So there is sort of a meet the maintainer / contributor vibe already going on there. The goal of the group, or excuse me, the session for Meet Our Contributors was really rapid fire Q&A as it relates to mentoring. People always say, oh, I need a mentor, right? And a lot of the times it's I just need someone to ask quick questions too and get feedback on that. So that's where this whole thing came in because one-on-one doesn't scale. So my thing is, should we continue to do this? Should we maybe talk to the office hours crew into somehow maybe wrapping it up even more into office hours so that it's both, user and contributor there. And then that's something that we don't have to maintain and sustain anymore from our crew. Thoughts?
I think we already have started a Meet Our Contributors blog series, which initially covers the APAC region. So we have something from our side to show. So if we want to merge it with the office hours, so it could be better. Like we have less work to do.
Yeah. So meaning maybe open up the Meet Our Contributors as just a blog series for Earth. And then have any video related stuff just go over to office hours.
Yeah.
All right. I'll open an issue with this discussion. I wanted to start it here though to see what the kind of like the pulse is like. Speaking of office hours, Carlos. It was like we summoned him.
Nice.
Hey, Carlos. So yeah, what's everybody else think? Don't care. That's also fine.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Well, I'll start an issue.
Yeah. If we could do a Meet Our Contributors kind of office hour mashup, I think that'd be A, entertaining, and B, would draw more people in.
Okay. And
it might
go ahead, Laura.
Sorry. I was going to say it might also help to get like the person who's there for Meet Our Contributors can then help as part of the office hours, like help answer questions. So
Yeah.
that might help
Yeah.
get more people engaged in that too.
Carlos, I will tell you what the heck we just talked about, because I know we have a full agenda and we need to go on. We need to press on. So I will get with you because it's about office hours and maybe combining office hours with a program that we also do called Meet Our Contributors, which is kind of what you did this morning. Remember with me?
Yeah,
So
we're going to every SIG.
Yeah.
Every SIG. Yep.
Yeah, so that's what they wanted. They want to kind of continue that. So that's why I think we should just let this sunset in our group and bring it back up in office hours. So let's talk. Like I said, I'll open an issue and we can all like make final decisions there. But yeah, that would be good for us just from a maintenance standpoint, and, you know, having to worry about who's doing it every month and collecting statuses and just stressing us out for reasons we don't need to be stressed out for. So, awesome. So if not though, then we'll launch on April and maybe we do it like once a quarter and not once a month. But more soon on the issue.
Cool. All right, Ihor, Playground, GSOC, Outreachy, LFX Mentorship Program. You around, Ihor? Is he even here? No.
No, but I am glad that you just brought that up, because I did fill out an issue recently. I did fill out an issue recently because I'm wondering if we need a third-party coordinator for mentorship programs here. And I think that's another role that would be really good for either a new contributor or a current contributor, doesn't really matter. But this person would manage LFX, Outreachy, Google Summer of Code, Google Summer of Docs. And what I mean by manage, I mean like actually put stuff on a calendar, make sure leads are filling things out, hunting people down, managing the mentorships, etc. I think that would be amazing for this project, because right now we do it very ad hoc, and Eeyore, out of the kindness of his heart, because he does LFX stuff, has been kind of handling a lot of it. So I'm wondering if it's something that we need to make more formal within the SIG as a role. So thoughts on that? I know Debbie has got some thoughts.
We had a discussion regarding this, like SIGs were not getting the dates of when to submit the proposal. So we had a discussion on this in the upstream marketing team. So we have a umbrella issue on the board, like reaching out to SIGs to submit the proposals before the dates, and use Slack bots to inform them about the deadlines of be it LFX or GSOC when it happens in the cycle. So for this cycle, LFX Spring and GSOC is over. So we were planning to do it for the next LFX cycle when the proposal dates are coming up. So we have that, but yeah, a role for that particular purpose would help. Yeah. But then again, it's required for only 1 month period of time to handle that in a year. So maybe it is 3-4 instances. So if it goes with upstream marketing and a person, then it's better we could sync it up.
Yeah. And I'm thinking full life cycle too. So I'm not just thinking like the management of the outreach, which is kind of where you're coming from right now. I'm also talking about even the proactive, like managing of things that they see that could be internship projects, and then also managing the interns while they're here to make sure that they're good, which is something we don't do a lot of. So like that full life cycle, I think could be taken care of in a role. So like if you or the folks that have been working on that stuff in marketing are interested in that, let's talk and maybe get something more formal.
Yeah, sure. Let's have that on the agenda for this upstream marketing council meeting.
Yes.
Cool. All right, moving along. New contributor workshop. I don't think Allison mentioned anything about that, but let's skip over that. Eddie mentioned the KubeCon thing. Paris can open an issue. Community management. Anybody here from community management?
I can speak briefly on the YouTube stuff.
Cool.
The short version is work has been bananas, and I am very far behind. But the action item right now is to create an umbrella issue. And in the process of that, I had an idea of some other stuff that I need to test that may be a lot less work. So hopefully this week I will have time to test it and see if that works. And if it does, then great. Either way, an issue is going to be open that captures all of the issues that have already been open. So once we resolve this, it'll clean up, I don't know, maybe half a dozen issues that are currently open in the repo. So yeah, I just need to find a little bit more time, and then I will make some more progress.
Awesome. And thank you, Ray. Marketing, I'm here from marketing. Also, Debrada already kind of talked about the big thing, right? So looking at our last meeting notes here, I'm trying to think. There's a tweet ready to go for the community meeting tomorrow. Release team support and SIG profiles. So yeah, nothing really new there other than what Debrada mentioned. If you want to say anything else, go ahead.
No, just like the release support, we are supposed to write a blog in the April. So that was a big thing with Emeritus Advisor and the thing for the people who apply for shadows and don't get selected. So what's next? So on that part, we are planning a blog post.
Yeah, like what to do, because there's so many shadow applicants, we'll say nowadays, that there's places we could direct them where they could help, right? So or other programs if they're new to the community, right? If they're not already an org member. So yeah, we're going to do something around that. Good point.
Yes. So that's on a project board. So yeah.
Cool. Anything else we should bring up? I don't think so. Okay. Contributor documentation. I know Bob is busy. Okay. Hey, Eric, how's it going?
Hey, it's going good. I've been working on the contributor guide with Bob and another writer who's working with me. And we made a little bit of a, we decided to try a different process, and we created a Google Doc with the changes that we wanted to make. And it was a poor choice because we ended up having to go through this horrible Google Doc markdown conversion thing that ended up creating just the world's largest diff for some of our markdown files. But we do have a PR in, and it's getting some attention. And we have a couple more documents that we went through that process with, but I think we won't do that in the future because it makes it just too difficult to get people to review and pay attention to. So that's almost done. We're going to be working on a pretty big kind of restructuring of the help wanted guide to kind of drive new contributors into, or new contributors and existing contributors into the path that would be most helpful. We had a long conversation with Paris about different approaches that would be more helpful with that. So that's kind of where that is. The developer guide, I think I reported on this last time. We looked at the developer guide, and it hasn't really changed a whole lot since the last time that Joel and I went through and rewrote a bunch of stuff, which was, I think, a year ago or a year and a half ago. So if people have feelings about more stuff that needs to change in the developer guide or more things that need to be updated, I would really love to hear that. I think where we sort of ended things last time we worked on it was running into all of the SIG documentation that is underneath the developer guide. And there's a very old stale issue out there asking all of the SIG leads to look at their developer guide stuff. And I think some progress may have happened on that, but not a whole lot. So I'll have to look at that and see. That's what I got.
Awesome. Thank you. Bob, he's not here, but anybody else here to talk about the contributor site itself?
Need more contributors. That's it.
Yeah. Ta-da. Magic. GitHub management. Anyone here for that?
Need more trusted contributors.
Okay, Paris.
Nice short updates. It's perfect.
Yeah, very succinct, right to the point. Just need more people. Now it's time for open mic. So anybody that has anything to say, feel free. Paris has made some very poignant points. But feel free to elaborate if you want.
I just had a question back on the developers guide for that stale issue for SIG leads to work on the developers guide. Are you also do we incorporate the contributing.md that's in the SIG directory in any of the developers guide, or?
I don't recall doing that. Hold on, I'll have to look. I don't think so though. I don't remember seeing a lot of those. Are there still a bunch of those around? Are they underneath?
There's more now.
Yeah, there's more now.
More now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I brought this up because I wrote one.
Okay.
I was like, that would be a good place to start.
And that's under the community repo. Okay.
Yes, and then under each SIG, each SIG has their own process, and there's what I found when I looked at many different SIGs contributing.md files. The ones with a good where to start or how to start section was they were very helpful. They vary very differently, all the contributing.md. Some are just lots of links to different places. Some are actually pretty good and written out.
Oh, right. Are those sort of the little mini guides that are like, if you want to contribute to the SIG,
yes,
you should join this mailing list, or other ones are like, you should join our obscure IRC bot, or you should.
Yeah.
Okay.
But some actually have something good.
Okay. Yeah, I did look at those. I don't know. I didn't consider good ways of integrating those, but that kind of stuff. Yeah, it would be a really good way. It would be a really good idea to index those somehow.
Okay.
Or somehow integrate them into the developer guide or contributor guide for sure. So yeah, thanks. I'll look.
Awesome. Carlos, what's up?
I have two things, but the first one is it's Kubernetes.dev, the website that you're referring to that you need more
contributor site. Yeah.
I think I went to this site. I don't want to edit, but I don't know where to get started, like find the files to edit. I click the GitHub button and I don't know. I go to community GitHub repo, but I don't know how to edit this site.
Carlos, I think you've got your first contribution.
It is a little confusing. The path.
I still don't know. I mean, real question. I haven't found it. Like somebody.
Yeah, no, I'm getting it for you right now.
Yeah,
same.
The path on the site doesn't really match the path in the community repo very well. But
there might be a folder somewhere in some repo that has.
Yep, it's in Kubernetes SIGs. I'm getting it.
Okay.
Yep.
Is it?
I got it right here. All right. Sorry, I've got like extra long nails these days and typing is an issue. All right. Okay.
Yeah, that's just piece of feedback. If I go to the website and say like, I want to edit something in this website or fix a typo, like no idea.
I'm filing an issue too.
Yeah, that's a really good issue to
please
file.
do.
It's a great website, but and the edits my edits are dumb. Like I want to update the office hours, like links and times and.
Oh, that's fine. Right? Like
so
you should be able to find that easily.
And by the way, that most of that stuff is canonical to the source. So if you find this, so in the case with office hours, your doc is canonically is located in the community repo. So if you PR in that, it should be updating the Kates.dev too. But I totally agree with you.
It's
Yeah.
very difficult
follow.
to test too. It's very hard to like run the website on your local machine and make sure things are updated. There's some
I have a big plus one to that because I have been trying to set up the contributor site locally and have a massive problem with that on my Mac M1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that is this hosted in Netlify by any chance?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And then you have the preview link thing working?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, I can
No.
help with that.
Yeah. That
Native, and basically people click a button, edit something, and they get a preview of like what the changes were.
Yeah.
In a link. Okay. I don't want to take a lot of time. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
The other thing was I was trying to add something to the agenda, but I don't have a way to add something to the agenda. Do I need to belong to a Google group or join a Google group, or which Google group do I join? I don't know.
at the top of the agenda is the Google group mailing list. Join that. It's contributor experience. You also should have access if you are in the dev group as well, which has the 6,000 people. Oh,
I'm in dev already.
yeah. So hold on one sec. Don't move.
I dropped the link in chat.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Join group. Fine. Yeah. Found it. Yes. Yes. Okay. Description.
All right.
Is that all you got, Carlos?
No, the biggest thing was I run the thing that I wanted to add, and I can add it to the next meeting. Doesn't have to be this one. Is I run a Kubernetes book club, and advertising, and a lot of people are signing. I created like my personal calendar invite, and I created a Google spreadsheet to people to put like an email to get a meeting invite in the calendars. But I'm up to 160 people, and the calendar invite doesn't support more than 200. And I was thinking out loud to see if this thing that I run weekly could be part of the Kubernetes contributor experience SIG, and that way we can have a Google group. And then the Google group is the invitation, like to people get their do the calendar thing. And if it's something that this SIG wants to sponsor, but just with 2 sentences, I don't think it's fair to ask you for that. So maybe for the next round, I'll create a small slide deck and show like what are the books that we're going to read, what the books that we're reading. And then how do I run the book club on a weekly basis? So just
my 2 cents. I mean, it's kind of out of scope if it's vendor specific, like Paris said, obviously. And like the books have to be accessible to everybody. Like, and if you say it's accessible to the entire community, that's a lot of people. So book publishers or writers need to be ready for that.
Okay. So it's out of scope. That's fine.
But
it just depends on the books, right?
Yeah, that's okay. It's not vendor specific. I can drop the link and you can see the books. We did Production Kubernetes. That was a free book. So anytime that if there's a free book, we'll pick the free book. So we did Production Kubernetes. That was free. 97 things that SRE needs to know. That was free. The one that we're doing now is production networking and Kubernetes. That's from John. And that was not available for free. So I was looking for, that was through O'Reilly. So I was giving information on how to get it through O'Reilly of $15 subscription through ACM. But yeah, not all books are available as a free one.
Yeah.
I think go ahead, Chris. I apologize.
No, I mean, Go ahead, Paris. I think your point's probably more valid than mine.
Let me drop the link here.
I
and you
think
can map of-
CNCF is a perfect home for this. Like
Mhm.
it's the same exact problem that we have with office hours, where it's just not necessarily our audience 100%.
Right.
And we don't necessarily have the people to do the maintenance on it. And I know you're going to say you're doing the maintenance, but there's also the maintenance of the infrastructure and everything like that is involved with it. And so that's why we're looking for a home for office hours too. So I think wherever we find a home for office hours, we should also find a home for the book club, because they go hand, it sounds like they go hand in hand almost, because it's downstream users looking for support in some kind of way, whether that's like enrichment through learning or troubleshooting, right? This is something that's actually been brought up so many times within this project, as far as like, we don't have a SIG that really does anything with downstream outside of release. So I think that's also been an issue. Like so that's something that I'm thinking about too, like at a high level, is like, we don't have any groups that do this, right? It's almost like advocacy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like the CNCF ambassador. I think they have a term like that.
Yeah, like I think yes. I think if y'all,
I came to this SIG because it was the only thing close, like contributor experience. But I think this SIG is focused on finding contributors, right, and supporting the contributors to Kubernetes. And these two programs, the office hours that I'm involved in, the book club, are more advocacy, like you said, like community for users finding help to learn about Kubernetes. I think that would be a SIG. It could be a CNCF thing also.
I feel like a vision that I have for the ambassadors is that y'all just have all these programs, right? And like you staff the programs.
That's how
right?
it should be.
And that's kind of where I think like the ambassador should grow. And then like y'all have roles and the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
I can go to CNCF and find out if they have a program like that.
Yeah, or see if like this, like the ambassadors want to set something like that up. But I definitely think you can get, at the very least, a mailing list from CNCF. Yeah. And then Kaslin, I know if Kaslin wants to chime in, she has a thought in chat as well about the Slack channel.
Yeah, a few of us CNCF ambassadors set up a book club channel in the CNCF Slack, like last year, the year before, and intending to use it, but it doesn't really get used. So, I mean, free game already exists.
What's the name of that channel?
I put the link in chat, but it's just book-club.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I will use that channel then.
Sounds like you have at least one new avenue, but I definitely, I agree with you.
You should still get an alias or something. Yeah.
I think you should make it more programmatic. That's at the end of the day, like from a sustainability standpoint, you know, Carlos, you're not going to be around forever, you know, and you might want to like let this thing live on, right?
That's also the thing I wanted to a mailing list to, if I'm not here, somebody else, I can grow other hosts, right? And the book club can continue.
Exactly.
The same thing we're doing with office hours, right? Dave kind of like passing the baton to me, so I'll do office hours for a year, right? And see if somebody else can pick it up next year.
I mean, for what it's worth, Carlos, this is something I'm actually interested in, like participating in. So,
in what, office hours or book club?
The book club thing.
Chris is like, you know what? I'm in it. Sounds like you might even have somebody to help you run it, Carlos. So
yeah, it's not a lot of, if we do the automation for adding people to the mailing list, the thing to run it is like, I don't want to take a lot of time. It's like basically to help people finish the books. A lot of people buy books or know people that wrote a book, and then when you go to KubeCon, say like, hey, how you doing? And the person asks like, did you like the book that I signed for you in the last KubeCon? Like, I haven't had time to read it. Sorry, I hate you.
You're literally describing my life right now.
So this way, right? I'm saying like we didn't. This time is 6 weeks, and like every week I'm saying we're in chapter 3, we're in chapter 4, we're chapter 6, and then we're done. And everybody read the book. We move to the next book, and we get through all the books this year that we want to. That's all.
Cool. All right. That's it for the agenda. If there's anybody else that wants to chime in with anything, feel free. Now's the time. All right.
We need so many more maintainers, y'all. Help us grow this SIG. So
yeah,
that's my end. My end is we're not going to all be here forever, just like I said to Carlos.
Mhm.
And we have so many holes right now in some of our sub projects with ownership. So yeah, if y'all, and the other thing is too, if anybody is listening and needs help with their employer and getting support to do this stuff, I want you to call me. I want you to DM me on Kubernetes Slack. I want you to DM me on CNCF Slack. I will help you myself if I have to, but we can at least come up with a plan to get you supported to do some of this stuff at your employer. So that's my pitch.
Awesome. Thank you, Paris. And with that, I'll declare the meeting over and stop the recording so we can all say our collective cuss words. Thank you very much for attending, and we'll see you next time.